Okay, what we have here is a 40mm Bing CV carburetor. It comes off, this one comes off an R100S, probably a 79 model. Have a quick look at what it is. So this is a left one. This is the intake side, and this is the side where the head is. That's the butterfly. Butterfly opens. It's the dome. This one's held on by two stainless steel Allen head screws. They don't come like that. They're usually a Phillips type head. Not quite a Phillips, but a similar thing. The bottom is the float bowl and the bail that holds it on. That's the base of the carburetor. To take the float bowl off, commonly spelt B-O-W-E-L in many forums. Push it that way and it'll open up, and the float bowl just drops down. It's an empty bowl. Now, common belief is that fuel should be at 28 mils deep, measured from the bottom of this hole, and that would equate to about 12 mils deep measured from the top of the float bowl. The float bowl's got a small jet in there, down in there, and that's part of the starting circuit. Put that to the side. Bail, this bail, good to have one of these spare under your seat. If these fall off, then this falls off, you're stuck. You can always possibly retrieve this on the road, but this would be a lot harder to find. These are the floats. And the floats, up in here is the float needle, a bit hard to see. It's connected by a very small little paper, what looks like a paper clip. It's tiny. If you ever undo it, you might lose it, so make sure you know where it is and what it looks like, and if it falls out, look for it quickly and put it somewhere safe. These floats are quite clean, quite new, probably never been used. There's a small So when you're checking whether the floats are well set or not, it's often best with the float, with the carburetor off the bike. And what you need to do, just the camera a little bit better, is ensure this one's probably aren't set quite right. They're pretty close, but these should be parallel. The bottom line of the float, that square section of the float should be parallel to the top, to the bottom part of the carburetor there. When it's on the bike, if you're testing it, if you raise the float, it should stop flow. If you let the float come down, flow should increase. The flow should stop at that parallel point, which is about there. So that's how you test it. Just there. That's where the flow should stop or start, depending on which direction it's going. This here, that's the main jet, and it's on the jet stack. The jet stack is, I don't know what that's actually called, that thing, but if you take that thing out, you can take that main jet holder out, and inside there is the needle jet, and the needle is further up on the coming from the other end. Just to take the main jet off, and this one's a 160, you just undo it like that with an 8mm. This is an important washer, you keep that, or you just tighten it up with an 8mm. Doesn't need to be too tight, it is only brass. To take the main jet, the stack out, a 10mm around the base of it, hold it firmly and give it a small tweak, and it should just open, and then it's just easy enough to take out by hand. Okay, we'll look at the jets now, the main jet and the needle jet and where they live. Alright, now this is the main jet. There's a washer there, and there's a stack holder there, and up inside that is the needle jet, and then further up to the top of the carb, the needle comes down into the jet. The main jet comes off with an 8mm, and it's just a small tweak and it should just come off. You can just undo it there. The rest of it comes off with a 10mm. Just have to loosen it, and it's just easy enough to undo it by hand. Needle jet's coming out with it. So there's the needle jet, the washer, that big chunk. Then the needle jet should just fall out. Give it a tap down, down it comes, it sits there. And then up there's still up in that hole in the housing, there's an emulsifier, and the top of that, you can see, you might be able to see the needle just there. Right, this in the top of that hole, viewed from the air intake side, should be able to see the emulsifier sticking up there. Right, now that should always be proud, that should always stick up like that if you're reinserting it from the bottom up. If it's not there like that, then it's not correctly seated, and then if you, as you put the needle jet in and then this piece in, you might just crack the base of the carburetor, damaging it and flicking bits off into your engine. So take care when you put that in. Alright, I'll just move those things to the side, we'll put those back in later. We'll have a look at the top. Now, this particular carb, I've put in these steel Allen key screws, which are a bit easier than the original Phillips, almost Phillips style, not quite, they're a different screwdriver, to get on and off. Then you just twist this, and then off it comes, and what you'll see is the spring, the diaphragm, and then the slide with the needle on it. And then that looks back down towards the emulsifier and where the jets, etc. go. I'll turn it upside down. Put the other stuff to the side, and we'll put these bits back in. So the emulsifier has still in position down this hole. So I'm just going to drop the needle jet in, and then that looks, a visual inspection, that looks to be in the correct position. I'll put this back in, inspect the O-ring. The O-ring all looks okay. That just goes back in then. Once you've given it a good clean, making sure that everything's in good condition, I just do it hand tight, and just a very minor tweak at the end there. Put the washer back on, and then the main jet just goes back in. That's all pretty straightforward. And then just another small tweak. It doesn't take much, that's it. Okay, so then next thing is to look at the top. So I'll move this to the side, we'll bring the top back. So what we've got now is the slide with the diaphragm, the needle. I'm going to take this, just slides straight off. It's pretty straightforward. Needle just, the spring just comes off. There are two sorts of springs. There are these ones, and then there's the ones that come from the later monolever models. They've got different number of springs, and some people suggest to put those on instead of these for a better throttle response. Now the diaphragm, you can see how it's attached. It goes under this. 4 screws come out, that lifts off, the diaphragm comes off. It seats in only one position. It's with a similar lug to this on the inside, so that is something similar that helps it seat in the right spot. And then when you're putting that back into the body of the carb, it also seats on that spot there. I'll see where the needle is touching that. So that little lug should fit into that. That makes sure it's in correct position. Now the needle itself, needle has 4 positions, and to change the position, what you do is you just firmly grab it. I'm going to take the whole thing out. Down through this hole, down at the bottom where the needle is, down through there, you can't see it of course, is a small clip that holds it in. The clips are different. The older clips are just a little circular, I don't know how to describe, a little circular thing, and then the later ones are a C-shaped spring. So what you do is you grasp it firmly, grasp both sides firmly. With a bit of outward tension, I'm going to remove the whole thing. I'm going to move it about 90 degrees, and then as it turns, I can feel it click out. That's one click. I'll do it again. I'm holding it firm and moving and then out it comes. Alright, so there's the needle. It's got some positions. There should be 4 positions: first, second, third and fourth. Now when you put it back in, same thing, just put it back into place and just hold it firmly in, and then rotate you'll feel it move. 1. Now if it's on the first position as it just is now, that means the needle point is furthest down into the jet, and that will be the leanest possible position because it's occluding the jet more. If you push it in further down to the second one, that's it, it'll come up a bit. Usually second or third position would be normal, and then into the third, and then into the fourth. Fourth would be very unusual. It'd be very, very rich because the needle is so far up that it's not occluding anything down there. Pull it back out again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'll put it back in. It's out, so I'll put it back in again. Just a little bit of upward pressure on the needle. 1, 2. So that's in the second position now. Okay, that's in position. So now we put it back into together, put the spring on it, and then push it down. Now the lug faces the outside of the, actually I'll take that off, and I'll just put this in separately. The lug position, which is just here, just there, under there, for the diaphragm, faces the outside of the carburetor. So I'll put it back in, just carefully selecting. You can hear my son in the background, he's playing COD and going stupid. So now I'm just looking through the throat to make sure the needle's in the right spot as it comes down, and down it goes. And then I'll rotate the lug, which is just here. Sorry, it's a bit hard to see. There it is, you can see it there. And it fits into that hole that you can see there. Alright, put it in snug and push the diaphragm down so it's well seated everywhere. Remember to get it well seated, no creases. Double check its position. That's okay. Hold it down. Alright, that's all good. And then you put the lid back on, remembering the cable things go to the back opposite the lug. So having just done that, moved it, so you've got to be careful there. Check it again. That's it. Don't forget the spring. Done. Okay, then screws back in. Clumsy camera. The little screws back in. Tighten them up. I just put them in loose because this is just going to go back into a storage box. They don't need to be tight. They need to be firmly tight when they're on the bike though, otherwise you'll have a leak. Alright, and then that's it. One thing I didn't show you earlier was the pilot jet. The pilot jet lives up this hole. Okay. There's the screw for the mixture adjustment, and that's the vacuum takeoff there. Undo the little screws. See the float bowl gasket. Float bowl gasket here. You need to look for good condition around the circles there. If that's damaged, if they're damaged around there, you can get difficulty with cold startup as air gets sucked in through the carburation or auxiliary choke circuit, which is this circuit here. This is in the off position. Pull it up, it would be up there, that would open the circuit up. Okay, all done.